To add a guest of honor, today's speaker is Lonesh Talwar. It is a great honor to have you with us, sir. We are grateful for your presence here with us today. Now let me introduce to the speaker. Lonesh Talwar presently working as a head of department in the Department of Electrical Engineer at YCET. He worked as a head of department in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IECS Polytechnic, Bokaro Camp, Doman, Jammu. He worked as lecturer in Electrical Engineering department at Government College of Engineering and Technology, Jammu. He also worked as a maintenance engineer at Burger Paint India Limited Industrial Area Growth Centre, Samba, Jammu. He had done his M.Tech in Energy Management from Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University and BE in Electrical Engineering from MBS College of Engineering and Technology, Jammu in 2006.
Yeah. Thank you so much. First of all, Mr. Gaurav Shirvastav, for introducing me with all the participants to be present there. First of all, I would like to thank the SEMS Welfare Foundation who has invited me to deliver the talk on this topic, that is climate change. And again, I can say that it is a great privilege for me that I will deliver a talk on this a burning issue of today's scenario, that is a climate change. Earlier, I had delivered many talks somehow related to the energy conservation, because as Mr. Gautam has said, he discussed my brief profile. I had done my MTech in the field of energy management from the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi University, Katra, Jammu, and I had almost delivered 30 to 35 talks. All are related to the energy, how energy can be conserved or how energy can be saved. A day before yesterday, I was another delivered a lecture on the green energy concept, how this green engineering is ultimately helps to attain the sustainability, because according to the US, our SDG goals, that are basically the 17 goals for the sustainability development, so it's our prime you can say that thing, that we have to save our energy, because if we not save our energy in this current year or current sessions, the current scenario, our future will at stake, and in future we don't have any energy. So keeping this in mind, I will start my presentation. So if I talk about that, the green engineering and its contribution for the sustainable development, there are the two main important things in this line, that is green engineering and its contribution for a sustainable development. Now, the question is, what is a need of green engineering and how it is related with the sustainable development? Before discussing about the green engineering concept, we have to discuss about the climate change. As an Oxford dictionary definition, the climate change is basically a noun, and according to it, the changes in Earth's weather, including change in temperature, wind pattern, and rainfall, especially the increase in the temperature of Earth's atmosphere, that is caused by the increase of particular gases, especially the carbon dioxide. Now, the question comes that what will happen if you see this graph? In this graph, we are taken account of almost 200 years. You can see on the right hand side, sorry, on the left hand side, bottom we have 1800, then we have 1850, then 1900, 1915, and we have 2019. So before discussing this graph, let me take that this data will be taken. This is not my data. This data is basically taken from the Google, and I had no any right to see these things. These all information will be available at the Google. I had only concise this data and present to the participants to be present there. Now you can see that there is an arrow mark, a blue color arrow mark in this thing, and this year is basically the 1850 year. Why this 1850 year is very important here? The reason being, it is a time of industrialization. When industrialization things are came to in India, and you can see at that case the primary energy source will be the coal, as seen by the graph in a gray color shade. And in the year 1900, oil is also getting added as a energy resource. After that, in 1950, the gas component is also added in this year. And now in 2020-23 or 2020-24, we have various sources of energy like gas, nuclear, hydropower, wind, solar, renewable, each and everything. But here you can see that the gray color graph, the blue color graph, as well as the pink color graph contributes the gas, the oil, and the coal. And these three things are very, very important, and it's contribute about 85% of energy consumption. Out of 100% energy consumption in a worldwide, 85%, that's a very, very big component. That is 85% of the resources we are used from coal, oil, or a gas. And what will happen? They will emit a large amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which will be responsible for greenhouse effect. And here, one important thing you should all kept in your mind, that the emission of carbon dioxide from these three sources, that is coal, oil, and gas, survive in the Earth's atmosphere for a 300 years. It's a big thing. That's a 300 years. So who face the problem? We are facing the problem, or our future generation will face a problem. So it's the high time that we have to limit these carbon emission products, because if we have not controlled these carbon emission products, the time will come when there's a we can say that a very collapse things will be occur. Now if I see on this graph, you can see that in the year 1000 the carbon emission is about 280 ppm, which is drastically increased to 420 ppm. That means nowadays we have almost 50% of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. These all things will be happen due to our modern lifestyle. These things will happen, our day-to-day life changes. So here you should have to be kept in mind that we have to save our globe, we have to save our energy, because if we not save our energy, we don't have to you can say that our atmosphere, it will create a very, very dent mark in our globe. I think someone mic is on. I request a participant to please turn off the mic. I think, okay, fine. So here I will quote one thing. I don't know whether from which region of an in India the participants are to be there, because it is a virtually mode. But I think I imagine that most of the people, most of the participants who are present in this meeting, they must hear or may not be visit one of the prime pilgrim in Jammu and Kashmir, that is Mata Vaishno Devi. I hope that you people may or may not be visit that shrine nowadays. Now, why I am quoting this thing here? Because I am a resident of J&K. I frequently visit to the Mata Vaishno Devi pilgrim. Oh, sorry, Mata Vaishno Devi shrine for pilgrimage. But here I think quote one thing. In earlier days, if I go not more than 10 years back, the only way to travel to Mata Vaishno Devi, because in Mata Vaishno Devi, there is a track of 14 kilometers. We have a basement camp, that's a Katra town, and we have the main shrine at almost 14 kilometers from the Katra town. And in 10 years back or 10 years ago, there are limited resources to travel from Katra to Bhavan or Mata Vaishno Devi by foot or by the help of a ponies or something, you can say that chair. But nowadays what will happen, there are alternative routes in Mata Vaishno Devi shrine. I'm not criticizing any government, I'm not criticizing anything, because today the scenario is basically the development scenario. Now what will happen in today's scenario, there are choppers to be deployed there, There are battery operated cars to be deployed there. There are alternative routes where the petroleum vehicles, like in a diesel or a petrol vehicles, they will go from Katra to Bhavan when alternative routes. But here the question is that in that shrine, in order to make the development, a lot of deforestation will take place. And moreover, I am not concentrating on the deforestation state. I am concentrating about the carbon emission products. Now you can see that when you board a chopper to travel to Mata Vaishno Devi, a lot of fuel that has been burnt in order to travel from Katra to Bhavan, or from Bhavan to Katra. You can use vehicles, and that vehicles are operated on a diesel or a petroleum that ultimately emit carbon. So this carbon is ultimately decomposed in on our Earth's atmosphere, which creates a dent, and our globe is at high risk. You can think, or you can Google it out, that our Earth's temperature is rising very rapidly, and within a year of 5 years, I think on 2020 30, our Earth's temperature is rise by 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now you can just imagine what will happen if anybody, any participant to be present there, God forbidden, if he has normal body temperature is 98.3 Fahrenheit, or you can convert into degree Celsius. So if your body temperature is increased by 1.5 degrees centigrade, you got a fever. So in order to overcome that fever, what you should take? You should take an antibiotic, or you should take some paracetamol, or you should take some calpol tablets. On the same hand, you imagine that if Earth's temperature is increased 1.5 degrees centigrade, that means our Earth is got a fever, and we have to take a certain steps to overcome this fever. And how we can overcome these steps, I'll show in the coming slides. Okay, with the increase in the temperature of the Earth, what will happen? The floods, the drought, the heat waves, the cold waves, the sea level rise, forest fires are very common in today's scenario. We can experience erratic weather pattern in our lives. Now you can see this slide. If you see on the downer side, there is a year that is 1970 to 1979, and there is one more year that is 2010 to 2009. The frequency of the floods is suddenly increased. If you see in the year 1970 to 1979, there are 313 floods occur, but now it is in the year 2010 to 2019, the flood rise is 31,393. This all due to the sudden change in the Earth's temperature, and all refer to the climate change. In the same case, you can see the frequency of extreme events, that is a forest fire. In 1970 to 1979, the data will be taken, it is almost 28. But if you see a span of the year 2010 to 2019, the forest fires will increase, and it will be up to 127. So you can see that these are the drastical changes. These are the things which are increased day by day. Results: ice melting. Our North Pole as well as the South Pole, the decomposition of the ice is melted very rapidly, which will affect the sea level will increase very rapidly, and we have to overcome it. You can see the storms. The data will be, if you go on 1970 to 1979, we have total 249 storms in a span of, you can say that, 9 years. And on the same span, if you go on 2010 to 2019, there are 1108 storms will occur. So if you see this graph, on this graph, it is clearly mentioned that climate is not changing. Climate has already changed. I think the participants who are present there, they must be accompanied by this thing that climate is not changing. Climate has already changed. In a year, we have total 12 months. In earlier days, the time frame for the summer, the spring, the winters are fixed. But nowadays, what will happen? This time will slightly shift. And if we not reduce this carbon emission products, the total collapse will occur. I will just give you one more example here. Since I am belonging to UT, now it's a UT. Earlier it was a state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now it's a UT of Jammu and Kashmir. You all know that there is a heavy snowfall occurs in the Kashmir region, in the valley region, and I think the participants who are present with me, they must be watch some new channels. That is the 40 days dedicated cold weather is dedicated to the Kashmir Valley, and in our normal language, it is called the Chile Kalan. The 40 days, the span, it's a severe and severe cold weather is on the Kashmir Valley, and this duration will start from in the month of December and in the month of January. A lot of snow it fall in the upper reaches of Kashmir, and a lot of heavy rainfall occur in the region of Jammu. But this year in 2024, you just imagine there is no snowfall in the month of December. There is no snowfall in the month of January. The snow with a very light or moderate snow will fall in the month of February after the period of the Chilekalan. Now, this will shows that our climate has changed, and if these things will happen, a time will come when the span of winters, the span of summers, the span of spring is almost reduced, because the climate is not changing. The climate has already changed, and if we not do proper things, if we not taken a certain precautionary measures, mind it, who never knows what will happen. We are on a risk. We are on a very risk stage. So to overcome this, the solution is green engineering. So how we can control our this climate change? How? The only thing is that is green engineering. We have to adopt this green engine. Now the question comes: what is a green engine? So before coming to the point that the green engineering, there is a one quote of our worthy Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. And according to him, once we decide we have to do something, we can go a miles ahead. Now, it's the high time we have to take a pledge that we should adopt a green engine. And once we decide, we have to do some things. In the coming slide, I'll show you that what are the various things that we can adopt in a green engineering so that we have to control this our climate. Okay, what is the green engineering? The idea of the green engineering is to create a wealthy living environment through the utilization of natural resources wisely and conservatively. Green engineering employs engineering processes and the methods that minimize pollution, improve a business sustainability, and decrease the potential for the health issue caused by unsafe manufacturing and design methods. It is the green engineer's responsibility to design buildings and landscapes that are focused on the conservation of renewable energy technologies. Just a minute. Just so, a successful green engineering examines sustainability issues such as fossil fuel use, measures a product or service life, identify potential waste concerns, and decrease the likelihood of these problems occurring with innovative concepts. All engineers must be knowledgeable about what green engineering is all about. It is the newest way to become efficient and economic while promoting the sustainability. Now, the strategies for adopting the green engineering, which reduce the human health risk and damage to the environment. So, mainly there are three main strategies on a green engineering concept. The number one is the waste reduction, how you can reduce your waste by recycle it, by reuse it, or by reduce it. Next thing, materials management, how you can manage your materials so that it can reduce human health risk, and but obviously the pollution preventions. Okay, now this is the high time we should all adopt AMG. Otherwise, we face OMG. Now, what is AMG and what is OMG? AMG means avoid, minimize, generate, and OMG means oh my god. So, this quote is taken by me from this guy, that is Professor Chetan Singh Solanki. Currently, he's a professor at IIT Bombay and it is the founder of Energy Swaraj Foundation, the brand ambassador of solar energy for Madhya Pradesh and known as Solar Man of India, that is a Solar Gandhi. He is a brilliant gem in this globe. You can just go to Google, search his profile. He has done a lot of things to save our globe against climate. Just imagine, he has, I think most of the participants must know about this man, that is a Professor Chetan Singh Solanki sir. He has designed a bus, and that bus is totally and totally work on solar. In his solar bus, he has a dedicated office, his living area, his kitchen, his washroom, and he everywhere he travel with his bus. A few days back, I think in the month of December, I get a chance to meet this gem of our globe. In the month of December 2023, he visited IIT Jammu to deliver a one talk on this climate control clock. And I was attending that function. And I was a very you can say that luckiest person that I had made a chance to meet him personally. And in that seminar, he uses this word that is AMG, that is avoid, minimize, generate. This is the only mantra to save our globe. You just imagine, he left his house for 11 years, only and only thing to aware people about solar and most important thing to control the climate. According to him, he says avoid as much as you can avoid the energy consumption devices you can avoid. Minimize. If you not avoid, at least you can minimize. Generate. Don't dependent upon the older conventional sources of energy to generate electricity. You have to generate the energy from non-conventional sources of energy. As I was already discussed with you, I get a chance to meet this professor at IIT Jammu, and during consultation or during discussion with this professor, he tell the audience to be present there that at least in a day, at least sorry in a day, not on a day, at least in a week, select one day like Monday, you should all wear non-iron clothes. This is see the level of the thinking of this person. He says let us let us all yeah, please, my humble request to please turn off the mic. Yeah, thank you. So, he request all the participants, or he request each and every person to please let us take and pledge that we will wear one day non-iron clothes, because the concept is that if you wear a iron clothes, must obviously you require iron, and this iron is basically work on electricity. So when you work on this electricity, the carbon emission to be there. So with this thing, you can avoid, minimize. According to him, minimize the usage of air conditioner or minimize the usage of heaters. In air conditioner in the month of you can set summers, and the heaters in the month of winters, and generate electricity by using solar panels. So, what are the various green engineering examples? First example, because there are plenty of green engineering examples to be there. It's not up to me, and no, I'm not say that I'm a perfectionist in each and everything. I can took 4 to 5 examples for particularly for this session, so that you participants to be present there just got an idea that what is basically this green engineering examples. In this, you have a zero energy building. Now, what is a zero energy building? It's a super convenient, affordable, and zero energy building with a zero net energy consumption. The total energy used by the building is equal to the total amount of renewable energy generated on the site or by the renewable energy sources. Basically, The zero energy buildings are the pillars of reduced carbon future. Now, on the diagram, you can see what are the things we can add in zero energy buildings. We are using LEDs, we are using automation systems, we are using roof insulations, we are using photovoltaic systems or thermal systems. So, by these things, I think we can go for green engineering. No doubt, for implying these things, we ultimately require certain capital. We require certain amount of, you can say that, some expenditure to be there. But if you go on a life cycle cost analysis, these concepts are somehow, you can say that, convenient. I request, please turn off the mic. Anybody, yeah, please, it's request to please turn off the mic because there is a hindrance in occur. Okay. So if I go on the second energy conservation, that is a wastewater treatment. Now, how this wastewater treatment helps us in green engineering thing? In this, some innovations such as improved membrane filtrations, microbial fuel cells, improved nanotechnologies, integration, and natural treatment methods used for the waste treatment. Green engineers may work on the projects that are already focused on the environmental improvement and enhance their operation, such as identifying waste destroying bacteria that may use for water. So, these are somehow related to a green engine example. Now, here, this is third example, that is biodegradable cups and straws. And nowadays, we are all using these biodegradable cups and straws. The biodegradable cups and straws contribute to the pollution output every year, including the plastic waste that never biodegrades or naturally breaks down. In earlier days, we are using a plastic cups or a thermocol cups used for, you can say that, disposal material. But nowadays, you all see that we are using paper pipes instead of plastic pipes. We are using these type of mud cups or mud, you can say that, utensils. So these mud cups or mud utensils contribute towards the green engineering. And also, listen, please, I think someone's mic is on. It will create a hurdle for me to present my presentation. I'm requesting everybody to please turn off the mic, please. It's a request. Yeah. So I'm on the part that most of the time, you can see on the part, if you go some years back, we are using these plastic pipes, or you are using thermocol made the plates, or as well as the straws. Not I'm saying the straws, the plates or the cups, but these are not biodegradable materials which pollutes our environment. So now we are towards on these biodegradable cups, disposal cups we are using, made up of muds. And this is a basically, we can say that, our prime thinking of our honorable Prime Minister of India, that is Make in India concept, where we can use the things from Make in India. And you can see nowadays there are a lot of, you can say that, cafes to be open in every state, or UTs, and some examples are to be MBA chai wala or chai suta bar or something, where we can use, you can say that, cooler chai, cooler concept is to be there. So idea is that thing nowadays, we are totally shift from your plastic made or thermocol made cups to your cooler. And these coolers are basically made up of clay or a sand. So this will help us in a green engineering contribution. Ultimately, it will help us to control the temperature of the earth. It will help us to become climate control options. So this electric vehicle, all electrical vehicles have an electrical motor instead of internal combustion engine. You all know that, if I go 10 years back or 15 years back, our mode of prenda for transportation is totally based upon the petrol vehicles, that is combustion engines, or you can say that our diesel trucks, or moreover we have trains that are locomotives are basically from petrol or a diesel working. But nowadays we are coming towards the electrical vehicle, and these electrical vehicles can help us in the field of green engineering. And you can see that this is the fourth largest vehicle market in India, and by 2030, 30% electrical vehicles are targeted by the government of India. So it is a very, very good step. Our government of India is also promoting these electrical vehicles. Now you can see in every state and every UT, there are for public transports, they are electrical buses are to be there, electrical rickshaws, electrical autos are to be there. So somehow it is collect to the green engineering concept. The amount of carbon emission from these you can say that combustion engine is can be reduced to a greater extent. But again, there is one another problem in this electrical vehicle is that the battery, because what will happen in this electrical vehicle, we are taken the output for the motor from an electrical battery, and then that battery will be installed in the vehicle, and we have to firstly the charge the battery, and after that we have taken a power from the battery. So in a longer run, if the electric vehicles are very, very high in number, so the point will become that the disposal, the safe disposal of the batteries is also come in our mind. That is something related to the e-waste. And the government of India, and where are the R&D of our government, and R&D, that is the research and development team of an India, is targeting or do various projects to the safe disposal of these batteries. But now this is the contribution to the green engineering, that is electrical vehicle is one of another example in the term of greening. Now we have a biofuel. You all know that a biofuel is defined as a liquid, solid, or a gaseous fuel that is produced by the conversion of biomass, such as bioethanol from sugarcane or a coal. Thing. Unlike other renewable sources of energy, biomass can be converted directly into the liquid fuel. The two most common types of biofuels in use today are ethanol and biodiesel, both of which represent the first generation of biofuel technology. So these are certain examples. I can took certain examples. In the same way, we have more examples to be there, which are contribution towards the green engineering, like plant-based cooling, radiant floats, 3Rs, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle, enhanced industrial emission filters, solar power, and alternative sources of energy. So it's a high time that we should adopt this green engineering concept. If we adopt this green engineering concept, must say that we are contributing towards the globe in order to maintain its temperature. Now, these are the things that you all require certain expenditure. You require certain expenditure to take in these things. On the other hand, if you save the energy, or you can say that you can reduce the carbon emission, there are another important tips that you can take in our day-to-day life, which also contributes your contribution to the globe. I'm not taking very much tips, or I'm not taking very much examples, because there is a time constraint. I think I have to finish this seminar by 7:30, and almost it is a 7:20. So within a 5 minutes, I will have to wind it out. And after 5 minutes, there is a question answer round from your session. The session is open for you people. So if I talk about that thing, so I will give you a simple one tip. And I think all the participants to be present there, they are must with my think that this tip, and this is not only the one tip, there are many other tips to be there. And if SEMS Welfare Foundation will allow me in future, so I will give you on more tips and more topics that how we can save the energy. So I'll give you one tip to save the energy. Now what will happen in today's scenario? We are all living in a nuclear family. It's not a time that we have to live in a joint family most of the time. I'm not criticizing anything. Most of the family, there are nuclear families. Now What will happen in the nuclear families? I think there are 3 or 4 persons in a family. Let us take an example of 4 persons in a family. One husband is there and his wife is there, and they having the 2 kids. Now, in this scenario, what will happen? Both husband and wife both are working, and their children's. Let us suppose, take an example, they are a student of a college or a school. Now, what will happen? In the early morning, the female of the house, that is the wife of the house, she will make up the food items for throughout the day. Now, firstly, what will happen? It consumes energy to make a food, and after the food will be cooked, she took that food in a fridge or a refrigerator. Now, again, energy consumption. In a refrigerator, what will happen? The temperature of the body, the temperature of the material gets lowered down. So, in both the processes, we are consuming the energy or ultimately carbon emission to be there. Now, after preparing the food, say at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, all the 4 persons get outside from the house. By husband or wife go to their offices, and their children are go to the, you can say that on a university or a college or a school. Now, in the evening, what will happen when they all come home? Maybe they all come home in a same time or in a different time. So let us take an example that they all come on the same time. Let us take an example, but this is the rarest situation that all the 4 persons will come on the home at the same time. I'll give you one example on the same time. You can just think and over it come that what will happen when they come at the different time. I know all the 4 persons are not exactly come on the home at the same time, but I will take an example that all the persons will come home at the same time. So what will happen when all the persons come home at the same time? What they do? They took the food or things that are refrigerated in the refrigerator and put that product directly in the microwave. Now, here, point to be noted that the temperature of the food inside the refrigerator is almost 6 to 7 degrees centigrade. And when you have to take that material, its temperature is almost about 30 to 35 degrees centigrade, depending upon the variety of the food material. Now, she or he took the food material from the refrigerator and put on the microwave, and microwave consumes energy to increase its temperature from 5 degree to 35 degrees centigrade. After that, they all take it together. Now, here you can see energy consumption. In the morning, energy consumption for making. In the morning, energy consumption for refrigeration. In the evening, energy consumption for the again for energy consumption for making the temperature down or side. Now, there is a small tip. What tip? The tip is that thing, before put the material into the refrigerator, put some time or bring that food material outside the refrigerator for some time, for let us take for an half an hour. So in the meantime, you can take your fresh up, you can take your change your clothes, and after that you can put that material into the microwave. So what will happen? The time to raise the temperature from 5 degree to 35 degrees centigrade will reduce, and ultimately the carbon emission level will reduce. In the same case, in this nuclear family scenario, you all know that there is a trend of a frozen food very commonly occur. There is a frozen food. The frozen things are to be there, frozen chicken to be there, frozen meat to be there. Now, again, the concept is that firstly, you make a material at a high temperature, consumes energy, carbon emission to be there, and after that you can put on a deep refrigerator has to work, again the carbon emission, and after that frozen food is again get put into the microwave or the heating pan, again the carbon emission. So you can relate that how much carbon emitted to be there. And by taking these simple steps, by taking these simple things, we can save energy and we can save our clothes. So at last, in the conclusion lines, green engineering plays a crucial role in driving positive change in the waste management by promoting sustainable practice that minimize waste generation, optimize recycling and reuse, and reduce environmental impacts. In short, save energy, save world for our future generation. So with this, I conclude my presentation with a quote, but obviously this is not a my quote. I can take this quote again from the Google, because Google has given us a penalty of things. So life is like a cup of coffee. It's all depends about how you make it. I enjoy my cup of coffee with my family, my kid, and my wife. So it's my humble request, with my hand folded request to all the participants to be present there. You can all enjoy your life with a cup of coffee, because the time will never comes again. You can think, you can enjoy each and every moment of your life with your family, and this is the so thank you so much all the participants to be present there, who listens my presentation very carefully. And again, with the hand folded, I apologize each and every participant if I will share some wrong information from my side. If anybody getting things that is on thing, my social media accounts, my WhatsApp number, or my email IDs start to be there. I am waitingly that I will contribute something to you people in the field of energy consumption. So it is all about my presentation. So the channel is open for you now, people. If you have any question and answers, I'll try. I'll not say that I'll directly say I'll try, because in this I am also a learner. I also try to encourage the things. So it's my humble request, if I'll not get your questions, I'll not able to answer your question, please apology from my side, but I'll try my best. Thank you so much. Yeah, Dr. S Permanent sir, climate changes and its impact on environment, interesting topic. Yeah, can existing house be converted into green building? I think this question from engineer. I'm sorry if I take your pronunciation or your words pronunciation wrong, Mr. Gerg, engineer Gerg. Yes, sir, it's absolutely right. We can convert our houses in a green building concepts by making a solar and you can know that the government of India, under the dynamic leadership of our Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, the main motive behind is that the solar, yeah, we have a provision. But obviously, you can say that in nowadays we can get a subsidy on that and also zero. So, but we have an conversion from existing houses to green energy. Is there any building has a zero energy in India? We are not saying that building has zero energy in India, but zero reduction, almost zero reduction to be there. It's not a zero. It is something like if anybody present in the participant from electrical engineering background, because I had done my engineering in electrical, there is a term that is called as the resistance, that is opposition to the flow of current. So ideal practically the resistance will be equal to zero, but ideally it is not equal to zero. It can be reduced to a certain extent, but I think there is no building has zero energy in India. Yeah, almost we have zero energy buildings in India. Is there any national policy for biofuels? Yeah, obviously there are national policies, and the government of India is totally focused toward the biofuels, because it's a high time that we have to think over this biofuel. That is why you can know that we are mixing with ethanol in the petroleum products, so that we can reduce the carbon emission products.
Government has issued some scrap policy now for the vehicles, old vehicles. Is this policy good, and it will add to the green
No,
engineering?
I think government has made only the scrap policy that that's the life cycle cost of a vehicle. There is a common, you can say that a 15 years life cycle cost will be given to the vehicle, and after the 15 years of life cycle cost, the cycle cost or the life of the vehicle can be renewed up to 5 years, depending upon the quality of the product or the quality of the vehicle. But you can say that there is no any another scrap policy, you can say that, where you can scrap your vehicle. Yeah, obviously every thing or everything should be, we have a certain policy of a time, and after that you have to be scrap it out. This is only the thing.
Will it add to the green engineering?
Yeah, definitely, because
Will
you
this
can see.
policy add to the green?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is that thing, you can see in our old vehicles, they old vehicles where the efficiency of the engines are reduced to a very greater extent. In nowadays, when we bought a new vehicle, you can see there will be average in terms of the average. The fuel consumption is very low, but in the old vehicle, there's a fuel consumption is very high. So if the scrap of these vehicles to be kept in mind, then it will be helps in green engineering, sir.
And also EV will increase.
Yeah,
Electrical vehicles will increase.
yeah, definitely. But the challenge is to be there. I'm not sure, but the only thing that I have covered in my presentation only, that is a challenge will be occur not in a days, in the coming days. A challenge will occur for the safe decomposition of the batteries, because
Okay.
in e-vehicle we are using, it is not a, you can say that the online, it is an offline process to be there now. So
Okay.
in offline process, what will be happen, we are taken the energy from solar or electricity to charge the vehicle and charge the basically the battery of the vehicle, and after that we can take the output of the battery and take to the vehicle, and the vehicle can rotate. But the time will come when we have a 4 year or a 5 year span of the time, and after that the safe disposal, I'm saying on the
Okay.
time
Okay.
it's a safe disposal, because
Okay.
if the batteries are not disposed safely, it will again help us, or it will also contribute to the climate change action.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. According Ditya Srivastava sir says how a green engineering is different from traditional engineering approach. See, sir, in earlier days, the traditional engineering approach is not focused towards on the energy conservation devices. I can take an example. In earlier days, we are using the incandescent lamps. Now, the point is that thing nowadays, these incandescent lamps are basically banned by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. The thing is that thing, it consumes a lot of power. Nowadays we are using LED lamps. Now a time will come, the transition time will come when we change our incandescent lamps to a fluorescent tube light, that is a CFL, and after that CFL, no time will become on LED lights. So you can see these LED lights are basically the concept of the green engineering, and this LED concept is totally, you can say that, the new approach towards the traditional engineering approach, sir. This is the only one example. There are many examples to be there.
Wow, sir, what a wonderful knowledge given by you, sir. I hope our audience learned many new things from this session. I would like to highlight some of the points like rising global temperature, extreme weather event, health impact, etc. Sir, there are a few questions which our audience want to be answered. So, with your permission, shall we proceed with that question?
Yeah, sure.
So, the first question is that what are the primary drivers of climate change and how do they contribute to global warming?
This question I had already tell a number of times that the primary drivers for the climate change are, I had already discussed very things with you, that is the main contribution is the carbon emission. We have to reduce this carbon emission, and in the first slide I will tell you that total 85% of the energy consumption in a worldwide is due to the carbon emission. So if you reduce the carbon emission, it will lead to the climate change control. Here I think I tell you one thing that I think must be, I forgotten that thing. What will happen, I will show you one slide where I discussed with you people that I met with Professor Dr. Solanki. Dr. Solanki has made a climate clock, and this climate clock is basically a trickling clock, and all the institutions have taken this clock and mounted on the buildings of this clock. And this climate clock is basically a countdown clock, and it will tell us that how much time is left to increase the temperature of the earth, so that we can take a certain steps. So steps I had discussed, that is the green engineering steps, and the primary drivers are basically the carbon emissions.
Thank you for answering this question, sir. The next question is what are the potential consequences of climate change on agriculture, food security, and water resources?
These are the main things, because you can see in case of an agriculture, in earlier days we are using a pumping system, and these pumping system what we are used, we are taken the diesel generator set, there is a called a DG sets to operate the pumping stations. So you can think that when we use a DG sets, so what will happen, we are using combustion engines, we are putting the diesel on that thing, so it will create a lot of pollution to be there with the emission of the carbon dioxide. But nowadays what will happen, we are run over this you can say that water resources with the help of solar plants. So again, you can say that in the field of farming, or in the field of engineering, sorry, field of the agriculture, where the carbon emission is to be very very high in India, all due to, you can say that the DG engine sets, or you can say that the burning of rally and all that thing. So now the government has taken a certain step to ban the pollutions caused by the parali burning, as well as DG sets operation. The government has given a subsidy to the farmers that you can install solar panels, so that the water level, or the, you can say that bore wells can be run with the help of your solar levels. So this is the contribution towards the green engine.
Thank you for answering this question, sir. The next question is, how does climate change exacerbate extreme weather events such as droughts and wildfires?
Sir, I had already tell you na कि with the increase in the temperature, the greenhouse effect will occur, and it will affect the, you can say that, our Earth's atmosphere. It is just like that. What will happen if you just imagine, the participant who's questioning this question, just imagine if your body temperature will increase 1.5 degree to the normal temperature. What will happen? A fever can take place, you are become abnormal, certain abnormal things to be occur in this case. In the same case now, if the temperature of the earth will increase, or this thing is related to the climate change. So if 1.5 degrees centigrade temperature, which is expected to be increased by the year 2030, so what will happen? Earth got fever. So when earth got fever, it will create a certain thing, and all these things, that is the storms, the wind pressures, it will all lead to the your climate change actions.
Again, thank you all for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional questions, you can contact us by email or telephone. We are happy to provide additional support to you. Please follow us on our social media and subscribe to your YouTube channel for new learning.